going on, everyone? I'm Daniel Rodriguez, and welcome to my series premiere spoiler review for The Exorcist. Now, it's taking me about 2 minutes to recap the episode, then give you the pros, cons, and final score. Thanks so much for joining me. Also, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, do not be afraid. Check out all the other content that I do on the channel. Over the next 3 months, I will be reviewing over 43 TV shows. Also, before I get into the recap, I just want to say Alan Ruck is in this show. Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I totally forgot. I remember he was in the trailer. I just want Alan Ruck to sit in my room and read me a bedtime story. My God. When Cameron went to Egypt's land, let my Cameron go. So we start The Exorcist with Marcus walking through the streets of Mexico. And he hears these screams coming from a building up top on a hill. We cut to the church where we see Father Tomas, and he's having these nightmares. Now, Angela feels a presence in her house, and she ends up telling Father Tomas, and she scares him, by the way. He's down, he's doing the electricity at the bottom and everything, like, oh, come on, you know. And he looks behind, and, like, Angela's just, like, right there, like, boo. No, she don't say boo, but it was pretty like why don't you warn somebody when you're going into a dark place? Father Tomas, maybe warn someone before you are gonna give him a heart attack. Okay. Anyway, so she scares him, and he ends up saying, for a priest, man, he ends up saying demons aren't real, and I'm thinking, are you sure about that? Are you quite sure about that, Father? So they're talking, and this bird crashes into their room. Obviously a suicide bird. And, it just, starts rocking its head, and the blood flows everywhere, which is pretty fun. Tomas is, he talks to Catherine, which is Angela's daughter. And she is a B-I-T-C-H. Did I spell that right? Anyway, she is a real cunt. I mean, jeez, she is mean. She's really mean. Anyway, they're at dinner, and she's just mean to her dad, Alan Ruck. You don't be mean to my Cameron. Anyway, so she's just so mean, and she's, and Tomas ends up defending him. He defends the dad, and he ends up saying, you know what, people who are in that state of mind or whatever, they can still understand what you're saying, even though they don't show it or whatever. They could still, people who are in comas, they do understand. They do remember when people were talking to them when their eyes were shut. And you think they're not listening, but they are listening. And he said that. He ended up defending her, and she was like, damn, a priest walking into your house and telling you that. Girl. Anyway, so that ends up happening there. Marcus is at exorcism in Mexico City, obviously. And it's a weird boy. He needs to brush his teeth. I mean, I'm being honest there. So the boy ends up dying. He ends up, the demon gets up, he breaks his straps and everything, and he's like, oh, blah, 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 whatever they say. And his neck just, I thought he was going to do his neck like in the original Exorcist, and just turn its head and everything, but he ended up breaking the neck. You didn't do it right, sir. Anyway, so his neck ended up breaking and the boy died, and then Father Marcus was like, oh no, the kid, I didn't know, I'm sorry. So that happens there. Tomas ends up visiting Marcus at this church for priests, and kind of actually a little scary. And he explains, and he's like, I saw you in my dream. I saw you in my dream, Holmes, 6 months ago. And that was about don't worry, I'm Hispanic, I could talk like that. And anyway, Tomas visits Angela, and there's this weird noise that goes on, so they go to the attic. Never go to the attic when you hear a weird noise. Never do that. A little tip of advice. Anyway, so Casey attacks. It's not Catherine that's possessed, it's the angel of the family, Casey. So she ends up attacking, and she squashes a mouse with her powers. And then, when the mom, I don't know why it took the mom 10 minutes to get up into the attic, but she ended up coming up, and everything's back to normal. The lights turn on, and it was just, it honestly was pretty scary. And she's like, Father Tomas hit a rat with a book. How awesome is that? I don't know how awesome that is, but okay. And then at the end, he ends up leaving. The classic Exorcist music ends up coming on. He ends up leaving, and Casey's watching him through the window, being a little peeping Tom that she is. Now on to the pros and cons. scenes. Now I'll start off the pros with the question all of you have been waiting for. Was it creepy? Did it scare me? Yes. Do note, I was watching this like at 3 in the morning. So when Marcus was doing the exorcism and the boy, his teeth were like, and like all that weird crap, that's freaking creepy. And the way that Casey moved at the end in the attic, she literally almost like if she had no bones, and she was like, ah! It's very weird. Now the CGI effects were very well done, especially when Tomas was like in that nightmare state and he was seeing Marcus doing the exorcism. I'm like, and like everything's flying through the air and everything. That was pretty cool. Now I can already tell you right now that I really enjoy Father Marcus's character. He's a badass, but yet he's a troubled man. As usual with a bunch of Fox shows, the cinematography is really well done. I honestly could tell that something was coming when Tomas was in the dark and trying to do the electricity and everything, and then he turns around. I knew something was going to be there. I just didn't know a white woman was going to be there. That's the most scary thing us Hispanics can see in the dark. And last but not least for the pros, besides the awesome music at the end, when Tomas is defending Henry at the table. And I love the way Alan Ruck just plays it out, man. He's literally just like, he gets up and he goes to the next room, and then Tomas is like, you know what? You shouldn't do that. They hear things. They remember things. Remember that. Do not talk to your father like that. And then like all of a sudden she just gets pissed off and storms out of the room, and like the mom doesn't say anything. She's kind of like, yeah. I don't have that many bad things to say about this premiere. I enjoyed it. The only thing that I guess I can really point out was there were a few slow-paced scenes. Also, just for reasons, I'm not a big fan of the mom, Angela. I'll just say that. Don't need to explain myself. Now, it is a beautifully shot show, but it did take some time to really get me into the story, into the meat and potatoes. It did take a while to actually suck me into the story. So I'm gonna give The Exorcist series premiere a B-. It was a good premiere, man. It's like a good cheeseburger, but yet it kind of has no taste. But yet it has the taste at the end, but it kind of just has no taste. I've used this reference before. Some people will understand, some people will not. Where it's good, but it's missing an ingredient. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed, make sure to smack that like button. You can comment down below, tell me what you guys thought about the episode. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Alan Ruck, shout out to him, send it to his Twitter. Share this review with your friends and hit that subscribe button for more awesome Exorcist reviews every single week. Join the Big D Nation. The road to 500 has begun. Join me on this adventure or be deleted. Till next time, bye bye.